Testing, microphone working. Good morning guys, how are we today? We are back at the job from the last video to start building the fence. The guys are already here, just got set up. I'm going to get them started and I've got a few things to go and head off and do. So yeah, we'll take you along for the day and see how things go.
Morning.
Morning. How are we?
Morning.
Nice frosty day.
Ground's nice and hard.
Yes, it's not going to get mucky.
Muddy.
Boards are all frozen.
Guys have just been getting set up. They're feeling very humble just now after seeing their first video and introduction. The G-Man. I never knew that was your nickname.
I'm one of those people that never really had that much of a nickname.
Do you think that'll stick?
Could do.
The G-Man.
Or Safa. Call me Safa.
Safa, because I was... is that like rugby related?
It's just South African.
Because I thought she said Sapa. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Sapa? I was
No,
like, that's
no.
not it. Safa.
So they Kiwis, we Safas.
Safa or G-Man.
Yeah, whichever. Take your pick.
Depends on the day. I've got a few other ones up my sleeve for you.
Yeah. Depends on what's gone wrong.
Getting everything set up for the fence at the back there. I never thought I'd actually say I'm happy that the ground's frozen because it doesn't leave a mess until it thaws out and then you're in a mud bath. So yeah, we'll get the rails on and ready to board. So that is the guys all set up, ready to go on this side anyway. Because of the wall, we're not going to get the nail gun down there. So we've had to put another rail on for that section. When I come back, I'll get set up to do this bit here. But that'll keep the guys busy just now while I head off. So yeah, when we come back, there should be a boarded fence. And we'll cut the posts after. So I've left them to it just now. They're just going to board up the fence. It's one of those things, we tend to do a lot of landscaping at this time of year. It's one of those things that we can kind of crack on with in all weathers. As hard as it is, you know, I can't really feel my feet right now because it's bloody frosty. But when when Dam and Kyle started with me in September and August, they hadn't really done any of the sort of stuff we're doing. So I've had to, you know, take them on and teach them how I work and how we kind of do stuff like the fences and everything. So, and whilst I'm still learning myself, it's very difficult to try and to delegate. I'm getting pretty good at it, but there's a lot to learn. Like landscaping is such an underrated trade. Like there's so much complexity to landscaping. It is just as hard as plumbing, maybe not plumbing. In fact, yeah. You know, if you're laying porcelain slabs and doing all these fancy projects, that is just as complex as any other trade. So I hate how underrated it is, but the fact that anyone can go and do some landscaping, you know, you can go and start putting up fences. You don't need a trade essentially. No customer's going to ask you for your ticket. I don't know, if you're a joiner, you might be asked for your proof of qualification. I don't know, but it is such a complex trade, and like I say, whilst I'm still learning, I'm also trying to teach them what I know. So where they have a rough understanding of what needs to be done there, like could I let them build the fence by themselves? Probably not. Like they know the certain things about putting the posts in, rough ideas about getting the rails on, but it's just repetition and experience, and it's like I say, it's something, you know, I've done quite a bit of fencing now, so I'm pretty competent in, but there's other aspects of landscaping that I'm not competent in. So when you're trying to learn yourself and then also teach someone else what to do, it's quite difficult and it's quite stressful as a business owner, because it's my job, it's my client, and where, you know, you learn on the job, it is also very difficult to, you know, to slow down and take things a bit slower, teach teach what you know and teach them how to do it. But it's obviously got to be done. So that's one of the greatest difficulties with complex trades, and in terms of scalability as well. It's very, very hard to scale a complex service. Simple services such as grass cutting and the likes, you could scale much bigger than doing more complex job, unless of course you find the right staff, which is obviously the biggest problem. So just something I wanted to mention there. You know, they've only been with me for a few months, to the tail end of the last year, and they've picked up what I've taught them pretty well, and I can comfortably leave them to go and do the boards. But I also can't just go and say, right, you go and get this fence started, do this and that, because there's a lot of levels and sort of stuff that I need to make a decision on. It will come with time, but that is just the point I'm trying to make, is it is quite difficult to delegate and let go of certain things. You know, I could go and tell them to give it a bash, and they probably would, because they have a rough understanding, but it's just one of those things, you know, there's a high chance that when I come back to the job, I would have to say, right, we'll have to change this and change that. And that's not being controlling or anything, but it's mine, you know, it's my business and it's my work that they are representing. That's what I'm trying to say. So any work is a reflection on me, really, as the owner. So yeah, just food for thought. It is quite difficult. It's taken me a few guys to go through to find these guys, if that makes any sense. I've had a few members of staff, well, is what I'm trying to say, and you know, I've done pretty well with these guys so far. So if they're watching this, keep it up, don't annoy me. And yeah, we'll all be fine. Back at the job now. Damien is cracking on with the boards. Wow, don't annoy me. Wow, talk about looking after equipment, eh? Bloody nail gun. There's no respect these days. Kyle's away getting some material for the back there, and yeah, it's starting to look like a garden now. Look how squint they all are. You know what you're doing? Mm-hmm. You sure?
Positive.
Good man. That's what we like to hear. I really need to get better at this recording. Microphone wasn't on the whole time. So I thought we were going to need 4 sleepers, basically 2 high, just with the idea. The ground level, just going to stick 1 on the bottom here, and then we'll probably shave a bit off the back here. As long as this ground's not touching the board, it should be fine. So we'll just backfill. There'll be a wee bit of a channel down the back, but that will mean that I can get a full-size board up here, which gives them a little bit more privacy, and it takes the height off of here straight across to the other side. So yeah, Kyle's going to cut this square. Emphasis on square.
100% square. The line started off well.
Yes, it did. Oh. Nobody's seen that.
Was this?
Oh, right, yeah.
Through my square.
Kyle's the recorder.
Here we go, right.
This is a start.
Now the boss is going to show us how it's done.
No pressure, no.
Square. No pressure at all.
Do you want to turn the camera off? Usually I would hold it. Well, it's definitely not square for one. Bloody hell. Usually I would have a set square on here and run off that as a rail, but we don't have that with us. That's it, that wasn't too bad.
Perfecto.
Don't say that yet. Oh! Camera, it's a camera, I swear. I know what it's like to be on the receiving end now. Could really do with a circular saw that we cut. We'll hold it up flush with there, and then to the line, and then we'll get some pegs in afterwards. Better there. What does that look like? Look pretty straight. So, just for emphasis, if we were doing a sleeper wall, we wouldn't have done it like this. There was no point putting post-creating another post in here for the sleepers, because it's not holding much weight. It's not going to be holding any weight really. All it is doing is just stopping the spoil from this this bank from coming through. So we'll chop some of those pegs into the ground there at the join and fix it into that, and yeah, it'll be pretty solid, and then the fence will be built on top of that. This is the finished height of the fence. So yeah, before I get slated in the comments for being rough, it's just unnecessary. There's no point digging more holes, putting posts in with postcrete when it's not really doing anything structural at all. And when the sleepers are at 2.4 metre length and these are 1800 centres, it's a bit of a nightmare, but we make it work. So we'll put this one in first because it's fixed. And we'll bring this one up to flush with it. Pretty good there. Now if it can hold 17 stone of pure muscle and good looks, then it's going to stop some soil from the back coming through. So simple solution. Put another peg in at the end there, cut that post flush, and the fence is ready to go on top. For the wood. Look at the state of that.
It's completely bent.
It's just been cut wrong.
Bent.
Bloody cheek of it, like. Look at that. It's not even warped, it's just the way it's been cut. How did they expect you to work with that? Bloody terrible. Absolutely terrible. Kyle's just finished cutting the posts. Damien is cracking on with the boards. Some wide stance he's got. Oh, he's ripped the trousers! Oh, never. He's not even had them that long. Nothing but the best for you, Dan. I'll need to get you some Helly Hansen next.
My mum needs to sew.
Your mum needs to sew. So this job has escalated. Originally this is all we were going to be doing and coming back in the springtime to do the turf, but they now want the driveway done too. So nothing too special, just giving this a bit of a scrape back while we've got the machine here, dig out this turf, and we're just going to terram and gravel that really. The gravel's going to match what we've got out here, so this is just a bit of a quick fix. We're just going to be scraping this back and adding the gravel straight on top of here, they know that the chances of weeds coming back are very much possible. This area I think we'll put some terram in just because it is literally going to be soil underneath that, but the rest of it we're going to have to give it a scrape back, a bit of a tidy up, and then the gravel can just go straight on top. Not really how I like to do things, but customer requested it, and yeah, at least they know. So looks like we're staying here for another day or so. So that's everything pretty much finished at the back. The guys are about to head away. I've started scraping, got them a wee jump to go over. I'm sure the transit will manage, no bother. So the guys are going to head back to the yard. Damien's going to unload the van and just kind of get some things organised. Kyle's going to head straight back with a beaver tail and pick up the dumper, which will go back to Sean. And yeah, I'll just stay here and make a start and tidying this up. So this is the kind of finished product. Back fence is up on top of the sleeper. We need to rip a board to go in here, so we'll do that back at the yard where the saw is set up. Apart from that, pretty much finished until the spring, and then we will get some turf on it. Pretty chuffed how that's turned out, and the client is delighted, so that's the main thing. It'll be good to get this all tidied and freshened up, and yeah, it's totally going to transform that. So like I say, the guys have headed off and I'm going to have a wee bit of a scrape. Nothing too strenuous, just giving this a bit of a scrape back, and then the gravel can go on top. It's pretty hard as it is, but just some of the high spots. Hello, so that's me done for the night. It is starting to get a bit dark. I've just made a bit of a mess with a digger. I call it a mess because I'm not a digger driver, you know, so it's very difficult to try and get things level and what have you. But we'll be back to it. These are coming out anyway, before anyone throws a hissy fit. This is all just getting gravelled, so it's basically taking out all the turf and giving this just a bit of a scrape back. So we'll come back and we'll do all the edges tomorrow, the whole way back, and then we'll start getting that stuff away and start getting new stuff in. Cheers, Jamie. We'll hopefully get that done tomorrow. So the gravel and where I'm disposing the waste is going to be from the same place, so I have to take the waste there, and then what I'll do is get a backload of clean gravel, which will kill two birds with one stone. That's the idea anyway. So yeah, I don't know if you can see me, but that's what we're doing now. So just gonna head home or back.